Hello all, if you want to see me or join me on this journey to turn this place into a bootylicious, super abundant permaculture paradise, then join me for our green agenda. Welcome all to Our Green Agenda. My name is Alexander, and here's my journey up until now. As a young boy, my life goal was to be a vet. I loved animals. So I was an only child, so I didn't have many brothers and sisters. So my pets were my brothers and sisters, basically. So I had budgies, I had cats, I had hamsters, goldfish, you name it. I just wanted to care for this little being. But that all changed. Pokemon parties and girls are a big distraction. Yeah, massive distraction. You get me. Yeah, time floated by, fell into gardening at the ripe age of 20. Annoyingly, I have hay fever. I've had it since I was a child, but hey, it's a pain in the bum from April to August, but it defines passion to me. I'm a passionate guy. It's tough, it is tough, but I love my job. This is how I tackle hay fever in the peak season. Don't judge me until you tried it. Yeah, I work for many companies. I work for tree surgeons, for the council. I work for one-man bands and massive companies. So I just learned all the tricks of the trade. But then one day I was just like, there's so much you could learn. Like, I just thought, enough. Then 2014, I decided to go alone. So I got my van, got my tools, got my sheds, and there you go. 2014 was full of, it was an eventful year. Like starting a new business, it's more stress but more reward, but I recommend it. But the best part of the year is that I met Susanna. AKA Boob. She's like my beautiful encyclopedia with a fabulous backside. Young love, eh? Boob moved in, business was on the boom, so I kind of took a step back and was like, I can't just have a garden anymore. I need to fix this up. So I had 70% yard, 20% ornamentals, and 10% crop. I had a bug hotel. I had a pond, literally a bucket in the ground, and I had 2 little veg beds so I can grow some tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever we had time for. But one day I was just chilling in the garden with the cats, as you do, sitting there just having my pina colada or something. Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, I feel like I need more space, more things, more space to do stuff. As much as I'm enjoying the business, it's just taken a massive chunk out of the garden. I'm just left there just thinking, I've not got much room to play with, basically. So I brought Suze out, or Boo, and she was like, oh, why don't we try for allotment? And I was like, yeah, but at the same time, it's never going to be mine. And I just thought to myself like, ugh. But then she came to me with the best idea. She said, why don't you just buy a piece of land and turn it into a nature reserve? My brain literally did a loop-de-loop. That's the best idea I've heard in a long time. So I thought, yep, not holding me back. So I started hunting. YouTube videos make you hungry, yeah? So, where was I? I searched far and wide for land. I felt like Goldilocks. Too big, too small, too bushy, too brown. Until one day we stumbled across 3 acres of bootylicious, sloped, south to southwest facing pasture land that has just been mowed for hay, and that was it. It was defined by hedgerow and trees, like a woodland around the side. There was a brook going from the south to the west. It gave me goosebumps. It was perfect. We named the place Persica Meadows. Why, you say? Long story short, me and Boo were engaged. Calm down. So I decided to get her a tree instead of a ring, because since we've known each other, she's lost a ring, and I just thought to myself like, you can't lose a tree. You can't lose a 5-foot tree. So the tree is a Parotia persica. Yes, Parotia persica. or aka Persian ironwood. It's got one of the best autumn colours. It's to die for. It's a lovely tree. It can take clay, wet soil, and pretty much neglect once it's in the ground. And yeah, it's just a happy tree, and it just looks amazing. It looks like it's on fire when it comes this time of year. 2016, we decided to start making some habitats for all the little creepy crawlies and flora and fauna just to make the place into a nature reserve. But I stood back and I was sitting there, I was just like, I stood on the land and I was just like, I had all my tools and I was just sat there and I was like, I know gardening, but this is just on another level. Like, it's not Mrs. Rubin's garden where I can potter around and faff around with the pansies. Like, it's just a field. So I thought, you know what, let's take a step back. So I went home and started to binge on YouTube. And then I stumbled across permaculture. Mind blown. Swales. Kugel mounds. Crop and drop. Comfrey Bocking 14. Megan Fox. So I was like, they should teach this in schools. I binged. I even took days off. It was winter time, and you know as gardeners in the winter time, it's like you get winter blues, and if it's cold, if it's frosty, so you have to walk on the lawn and it's really fun. Anyways, I'm making excuses. I took 3 days off so I could sit down and then absorb all this energy from all these channels, and I was just like spewing permaculture. I started binging on channels like Charles Dowding. Am I saying that right? Dowding. The guy he always moves when he talks. I like him though. He gesticulates well. He's nice and calm. He's a peaceful guy. Justin Rose of his family. How many kids does he have? Edible Acres, a chilled guy with loads of chickens, and Richard Perkins. Anyone else get down to Richard Perkins too? I had several dreams about permaculture, from sheep mulching to making swales. So I thought, you know what? I've had enough. It's time to stop binging. Let's get out there and start making this place pretty. The first step was a hedgerow. Yeah, I found its feet pretty quickly as it's clay, so it was just kind of, you got a bit wet feet to fall. A lot of plants tend to do that when they're going to clay. They either kind of shoot up straight up, or they kind of bide their time and then kick off the next year when the heat comes in. Annoyingly this year, I had to move it due to the estate agent getting the kind of our land border wrong. Yes, annoying. We did a lot of research before we bought the land, but never go with what your estate agent says. So good to get a surveyor, which we didn't do. So it was my fault really. But I moved it this mid-spring, which was quite stressful because it was quite warm towards the end of March. But it survived. I also added, just in front of the hedgerow, I added a nitrogen / bee friendly, bird friendly, 90% native windbreak. Phase 2 was sheep mulching. So we had an acre of space that we wanted to turn into woodland. And we thought, you know what? I don't think you want to spray it with all like weed killer and stuff like that. I thought to myself, let's do it. Let's use some more principles here. Permaculture principles. They're not really fast. Permaculture principles. Permaculture principles. Permaculture principles. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I thought to myself, let's go just do sheep mulching. Yeah, we sheep mulched 1 acre of bumpy pasture land. Yes, I repeat, bumpy pasture land. It was tough. But again, we'll speak about that in a later date. Time now was 2017. What a year that was. We moved house with the cats. And we also had the biggest surprise to date. You guessed it. I've got a raccoon. I'm kidding. This little guy was born. I give you cedar, aka cedar bean. 6 pounds, 2 ounces of gooey, squidgy happiness. Not many people know this, but we had a radio in the delivery room, and when he popped out, literally. Yeah, he popped out, came out to Justin Timberlake's Rock Your Body. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. So now it's 2018. Eat, poop, sleep, repeat. Eat, poop, sleep, repeat. No one told me that babies pooed 10 times a day, almost 12 times a day. Anyways, so obviously due to daddy duties, I kind of gave the land a back foot. But it also slowed due to the loss of my furry little brother, which is Otis. He lost his battle to heart disease at the ripe old age of 9. So yeah, he was a sweet cat. And you might like this, he's now buried underneath our engagement tree. So yeah, but hey, yeah, we still got another cat. We still got his sister. This is Coco, aka Coco Shay, aka Girly. I don't know where that came from. I just said it one day and it stuck. But yeah, she's a chatterbox. She's a bit bonkers. She used to chill out sometimes. And she loves a lap. Especially this time of year. Anyways, back to Persica Meadows. So, in 2017 Christmas, we got given an owl box by Susie's grandmother. So I was like, oh, let's put it up. So I got my tree surgeon, Jesse, and we kind of cut back a few shrubs and a few tree branches, and we put it up. And I was like, I remember reading about it, thinking to myself, like, they said that other animals might move in. So I was like, you know what, I don't really mind. If anyone moves in there, I wouldn't mind. I thought a squirrel and a jaybird would before anything else would, or an owl would. So I thought, okay, I mean, it's a nice location. It's got 3 miles from Gatwick. There's lovely amenities. I should have Airbnb'd it. So in like around, where was it? Early April. I was strolling with Cedar Bead and I was showing them the land, and it was all dribbly at that stage. It's like, and yeah, the owl. I saw an owl walk down to this shrubbery or the trees, and the owl saw me, and it flew straight into the owl box. I was just like, huh? And by this time, Cedar couldn't talk, he couldn't understand me, so I just had to scream at him and say, the owl lives in the box! So I couldn't wait to get back to tell Boob. I whipped out my trip cams and set them up in strategic locations, so we got amazing footage. So I give you Omari and Terence. Yes, a mating pair. No babies, unfortunately, this year, because it was kind of a wet season. I think it's their first year too, because look, you don't get owl midwives, so they don't know what to do. So, and plus, at hard times when the weather's bad, they tend to eat their babies. I know, right? Fingers crossed for 2020. Let's get some little owlets. Barn owls. We've got a meadow. We've got an acre of sheep mulched field. We've got a hedgerow. I thought, what else can I do? But I had to be frugal because now I had a mortgage and I've got a baby. I was a bit like, I've chucked so many pennies at Persica. I was like, what can it do to make me money now? So I sat down and I thought. I'm joking. Yeah, I sat down and I thought. And I was like, market garden, food forest, sanctuary. That could work. A lot of my friends were saying I should have a mini festival, but I was like, nah. I've been to festivals like but I think it'd be alright if it was a one-day festival, but everyone just, I don't know. No. My brain, for about this much of my brain was like telling me like, that sounds like a good idea, but I was just like, get out of the way. But anyways, so plus my neighbours wouldn't speak to me, nor the owls would. The owls wouldn't speak to me either. So anyways, so I thought to myself, let's make a market garden. But by this time, the sheep mulched area had got loads of thistles on and pretty much turned into a meadow. And I didn't mind it. I got a bit stressed about it, but I thought to myself, like, you know what, let nature do what it's doing. The ground is still better than it was before. It's easier to work on because I've made the sheep mulch and the worms will come up, vermicompost, you name it, black gold. So I yeah, we cut back all the meadow. We cut back a nice big section of the old sheep mulched area. So what I want to create is a no-dig market garden with regenerative agriculture, basically. So obviously I'm gonna get some animals. So I want pigs, chickens, goats, ducks, and bees. And I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that would be it. With all the animals I want to have, it's going to be like a, because no offense to sanctuaries are lovely, and it's nice to see the pigs and the animals and they're chilling and sunbathing and they just pretty much moonscape the place. But if you've got a working sanctuary, you can make the ground better, and at the same time, there's no premature death, if that makes sense, because that is frowned upon. So that's it so far, folks. So if you like what you've seen and you like what you've heard, please consider subscribing, please. And yeah, our aim is to put a bit more greenery on the scenery. It's not just my agenda, it should be yours too. Peace. Oh, and I almost forgot, I've got my own little garden too, so I'm just going to be growing vegetables in there. It's a nice little spot. It's about 15 by 7 meters, 15 meters by 7 meters. Fun little space. So please do come back, join in, and we can have some fun.